Claire has $300 in an account. She decides she's going to take out half of what's left in there at the end of each month. We'd like to model this here. So we're starting off with $300. And then after she takes out half of what's there, there's $150 left. And then she takes out half of what's left after the next month, and that is $75. And then she takes out half of what's left, and that's $37.50, and so on. Well, we can see here that what's happening, the pattern, is we're multiplying by a 1/2. Now you can think of this as dividing by 2, but it's usually easier to think of these in terms of just multiplication. So multiply by a 1/2 each time. So the recursive equation, if we wanted to get the nth term, we would need to look at the term before it, which is f of n minus 1, and then multiply it by 1/2. And of course, with every recursive equation, we need to give a starting value. Our starting value here is f of 1, which is equal to 300. Now, to find the explicit equation, we will look at a table of values and write it out using our pattern. So the first term was 300. The second one was half of that, or 300 times 1/2. The third term was that previous one, 300 times a half, and then half of that, so times 1/2. And the fourth one is that number, that previous term, and then times 1/2. Well, now we can write this in a condensed format. We see that I've got a 300 and then times multiple halves. So that is repeated multiplication. And repeated multiplication can be written as an exponent. Same thing up here. I've got my 300 times 1/2, and then there's 2 of them. So an exponent of 2. And the one up here, that's 300 times 1/2, and there's only one of them, so raised to the 1. This one up here, we could write like that as well, 300 times 1/2 to the 0. We are not multiplying by 1/2 at all, which is the same thing as times 1/2 to the 0. Well, we see here a pattern. So for the nth term, I can see I'll have a 300 times, and I see that I'll have a 1/2, and then an exponent. And the exponent is changing, so we use our variable to represent it. That exponent turns out to be 1 less than the term number. So 4 turns to 3, 3 turns to 2, 2 turns to 1. So n turns into n minus 1. Therefore, our explicit function is f of n equals 300 times 1/2 to the n minus 1. Okay, finally we want to graph this. I'm going to go ahead and let each square on the vertical axis be a 25. I need to get up to 300, so this will be 100 and 200 and 300. And then I've got my over here, I'll do that be 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And, well, my first term is 300. Okay. And this represents here the amount that she has at the beginning of the first month. Okay, and then at the beginning of the second month, after she's taken out the 300, she's left at 150. And then for 3, 75. 4, 37.5, and so on. And of course, this is just one way of modeling it. This is representing where f, our function, represents the amount in the account at the beginning of the nth month.